But anyways, today, you guys, we are so excited to kick off season 8 with our guest that we have on the show today. We see her quite often.
You guys are, if you follow us on social media, you are familiar with her already.
I gotta really say thank you, Susie. Thank you so much for really stepping my game up by introducing me to the one, the only, Sahar Allure is in the house.
Welcome, Sahar.
Hello. I'm excited to be here with you guys.
I love your accent, by the way, Sahar. I think your accent is just amazing. So anybody that has an accent listening to this, just embrace your accent. I have a friend. She's from Venezuela. Shout out to my girl Tati. She talks like this. She talks like Sofia. She's from Venezuela. Her accent is so heavy. And she was like, oh my God, like she used to be super self-conscious about her accent. And I told her, Mama, like, just embrace it. And she's like, do you? And I was like, people love it. And now she embraces it. And the moment she started embracing it, she started working with more brands. Her brand grew bigger because it really used to bother her. And I'm like, this is America. So many people come from so many different countries. Just embrace it.
Look at Ricky Ricardo.
Let's start there. Our dad talks like Ricky Ricardo, by the way.
Yeah,
he does.
Totally. You know, this is one of my biggest insecurities is my accent. That's what slowed me down a little bit. But lately, I started to be like, okay, if I don't like it, people will sense it, will feel it. So I try to embrace it and be more confident about it, and just go for it. And just gonna talk and do it.
I mean,
I'm fine one-on-one, but it just to put me on podcasts or a video, and I feel like, oh my God, am I saying this right? Am I saying that I'm pronouncing the letters right? But yeah,
but even if you don't, even if you mispronounce a phrase here or there, I think that art adds to the charm. Like, it's cute, right? But welcome to the show.
Thank you for
I'm
having
so
me.
glad that we finally got you in here.
I'm happy
because
to be here.
we always talk about you on our Instagram story. We always share our visits with you.
Yes, we do.
And now we get to bring you here because we get so many questions about the procedures that we get. There's a lot of misconceptions about some of the procedures that we get. So we thought, let's just bring the source here and answer all these questions. But first, do you have a rant or highlight?
I do. I have a highlight. The highlight of this week, it was my son's 19th birthday.
Oh, yeah. I saw that. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. You were celebrating him.
Yes,
Big galore.
So it was a surprise birthday for him. I've been planning for it since a month ago, and I was so worried that he's going to find out, and it was a complete 100% surprise. He was shocked. He's like, are you sure this is for me? Are you sure this is for me? This all for me? He kept asking me for the first like 15 seconds, and it shows on the video. Is it for me? Are you sure it's for me? So that was the best thing ever. And he's 19, is like a big boy, and he's my only boy, so it was a big deal.
And you know what?
So fun.
I also, because I follow you, and I saw your little daughter.
Oh my
Dude,
God.
your little daughter is like a rapper. Why does she know? Did you see her videos?
I didn't see her. I didn't see that. She rapping Cardi B.
She rapped all Nicki Minaj.
Yes.
And she was like she looked like Nicki.
Yes.
Oh my
I was like, and I said, Sahar,
acting
your
like
little
it.
daughter.
Like,
she goes, I was surprised.
I was shocked.
Literally.
I'm like, we're having a hard time to memorize the times table the whole past 2 weeks, but she memorized all of this that I don't understand what you're saying.
She looked like a little rapper.
Yes, and she memorized all of the songs the whole drive home.
Your kids have
She was
swag.
singing. I'm like, Zena, how did you learn all these words? Like, what?
She's like, duh, Mom, this is what I've been doing instead of
All
studying
day.
my timetables.
Like, you're smart. You know how to memorize it. So, yeah, that was my highlights of the week.
That goes to show you how influential music could be.
100%,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Because like sometimes I listen to songs and I remember the words. It's easy for me to memorize lyrics. And I'm like, how do the lyrics stick to you? Like, so like a song we all know the lyrics to. Everybody could agree with this. Mentirosa, Melomanes.
Oh,
Check
gosh,
this out,
yes.
baby. Like everybody knows the lyrics to that song because it's so sticky icky.
Or this is for the raza. Like
I don't know
Kid
about
Frost.
that one, bitch. That's your inner
Come on,
chola.
bitch. Come on.
That's your inner chola coming out.
Don't hate the player. Hate the game.
Oh my God. So listen, the beauty industry and the cosmetic beauty industry is booming. I think that it's an industry that will never go. It will never die.
It's it's such an old. I think it's like the second oldest industry outside of prostitution.
Yes, because everybody wants to stay young and pretty, right?
Right.
No matter who you are, where you are, what is your profession, how old you are, you want to look young and pretty, right?
I mean, I have yet to meet someone that's like, no, I want to grow old and ugly. I've never heard a woman say that.
I know people that will say like, I want to age gracefully, but then once the aging gracefully actually starts to happen, they're like, whoa, I don't necessarily want all the things, but I do need a little bit of this or a little bit of that.
I want to look age appropriate. I don't want to look older than my age. So fix me in a way that I look age appropriate. I don't want to look 10 years older. And that's the misconception that with my field, that they think if they get that work done, they're going to look 10 years younger, or they're going to look like a 20 years old when they are 50 years old.
Right.
So you can age gracefully and look age appropriate. Don't look 10 years older than your age, right?
Yeah, I want to look 20 when I'm 50. I'm okay with that.
Just to
Like,
be,
who
no,
has-
you don't.
You want to look like yourself.
You want to
don't
look like a
different.
20-year-old in the face and have like a crepey neck and chest.
I am not gonna have that with all the beauty tools we have. Are you kidding me? I will get a neck lift.
Well, listen.
Quickly.
Before we continue, if you guys are listening and you are not familiar with who Sahar Allure is, in a nutshell, she is, are you classified like on paper as an aesthetic nurse, RN?
Aesthetic injector, nurse injector.
Yes. So she does Botox, right? She injects Botox, fillers,
lasers,
right, threads, like anything that has to do with that part of the beauty industry. That is what Sahar does.
Yes. And you know what? I gotta say that you are so honest with your clients. You know, like I remember when I went to go see you first, Susie was like, okay, sis, like go to Sahar.
First of all, let's talk about how that went down.
Yeah, I was being
La
stubborn.
señorita culo con pujo.
I was being stubborn.
I was doing her hair, remember?
Uh-huh.
Well,
It
you
was
do
on
remember.
Wednesday.
Yes,
Yeah.
I was no, it wasn't, because
It
we're
was
here
a
on Wednesday.
because I was off.
She was
and That
off.
was the day that she came in and after you. She
Well, how
just
the
came
heck?
out of your salon to me, right?
No, the next day. The next day.
No,
I
you left the shop.
I
Well,
did?
anyways, I don't remember the
Oh,
day
yeah,
of the week.
I did.
But I was doing
Yes.
her Raquel's hair, and I think I had just gotten something done, and you were like, "Oh my gosh, sis, your skin looks amazing." And I was like, "I keep on telling you, Sahar is amazing, and I don't know what you're sleeping on." No, because you were still going to Boris, and no shade on them.
No,
right?
nothing
They
at all.
We worked with them for many years, and they did a great job. But the med spa did close.
Yeah, it did.
During
COVID.
And I just feel like I don't necessarily want somebody that's used to working with a scalpel and doing all that like intensive work to really like be injecting and working on my face. That didn't feel comfortable to me.
Yeah, because the body and the face are just different.
Yeah, but you were like, no, I'm comfortable. I have a good relationship with him, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, okay, whatever, you do you. But because all the girls at the hair lab, they go to Sahar. So I was like, I need something. My schedule was getting busier. I need something closer to home. I already knew Sahar, but I was still, working with Anna at the time. But I was like, I can't. Like, this isn't working for me. So I made an appointment with
Geographically
Sahar.
speaking, it wasn't working.
And so I made an appointment with Sahar. I was like, sold, bitch. Like, you're
I didn't
amazing.
know you at that time. I know that you're one of the hair lab girls, but I didn't know you on the personal level. And I just was very honest, and I gave you the full consultation like a normal client.
Yeah. So then
You gave that to me too, even knowing who it was. I was like, damn, she's vicious. But I was like,
she's not.
no, in a
But
way.
let me finish telling the story.
It was beautiful
After
though.
working with Sahar for a while, like Raquel started to see my look,
change.
right? And she was like, damn, bitch, like your face is looking so good, like so fine tuned. I was like, Raquel, I'm telling you, like she's the real deal. You have to go.
I've never
So,
guided
of
you in the
course,
wrong direction.
True to herself, she was like, you think she'll see me today? I was like, bitch, I don't know. I don't manage her book. Ask her. Okay. So I text Sahar. I was like, Sahar, my sister's here. And do you think you could squeeze her in? And Sahar, being as sweet as she is, she was like, sure, send her. But it has to be by like 1 o'clock. And she has a grip of hair to blow dry. So I was like, you either leave with wet hair or like just blow dried hair to go see Sahar, or you have to see her another day. So that's how you left.
booked it.
Yeah, she booked it, and that's how you met Sahar. And then the first thing you said to me was, but I said to you, she's going to break down your face. Don't take it personal. That's just her job. That's like when you come and get a consultation with me and you want to be platinum blonde and your hair's all broken. It's my job to guide you and to tell you, like, listen, I get it. That's what you want. But professionally speaking, this is where you are, and this is the steps that we need to take to get there. You do the same exact thing to our face, right?
Yeah. And you notice everything.
I just can't help it.
I know. Sometimes I'm like doing something on Instagram and story. She's like, okay, the next time I see you, we're going to adjust this. And I was like, oh, shoot. Okay. But yeah, so that's how you were introduced to Sahar and you fell in love.
I fell in love. And she was like, okay, we're going to do this and your eye twitch. And I was like, oh my God, no one's ever called me out on my eye twitch, you know? But I love honesty, especially when it comes to getting procedures done. And if people are going to be paying for that, like why would you want someone to lie to you?
Like when you're sitting on my chair and you're trusting me on your face, I cannot just give you what you want because you don't know what you want if that's going to fix you or not. They come to me with heavy faces and they're like, oh yeah, I'm here to do my jawline. I'm like, you do your jawline with fillers, and adding fillers to a full face is gonna make it even bigger and is gonna drag it down. There is a way to do it, and there is a way to build it, and this is the process. And they come exactly like how you came to me with an attitude of like, I know what I want. I know Botox, and this is how much I need, and this is where you put it, and this is the amount of the units. And my lips, I like them that way and that way. I'm like, okay, let's sit down and talk.
Sahar said, sit down and shut
eyebrow
up.
is lower than this one, and then we need to work on symmetry, and that's when you dropped your phone and you're like, okay, I'm not recording, let's talk.
I was like, wait a minute. I was like, what?
Okay, hold on, let's talk.
Yeah, she called me out on it, and I'm sure you do that with all your clients, but in the most loving,
really
professional way.
It's just a real thorough consultation.
And that's what
I wasn't used to that.
Yeah, because you go and you say, I want lips, they give you lips.
Yeah.
I want Botox, they'll give you Botox. I want my under eyes filled, of course. I want my cheeks higher, you got it. I don't work that way. I make it very appropriate, subtle, and realistic too.
Yeah.
When they come and they're like, I want them to look like this. My eyebrows, I want them to touch my hairline. I'm like, hold on, let's be realistic. You have muscles, and these muscles are weaker on one side than the other. So if I lift you here up to here, I cannot lift the other eyebrow that much because the muscle is weak. I need to teach you and educate you how we're gonna accomplish things and how you're gonna look like. And you will look good in pictures, but the minute that you start being animated and smiling and making facial expressions, you're gonna look weird.
Yeah.
Because your mouth is not gonna move, your smile is not gonna be big. Or they come and they say, I want Botox only for the 11. Don't touch my forehead. Don't touch my crow's feet. I'm like, imagine if you're involved in a conversation and you're frozen and you cannot frown, but you keep raising your eyebrows. It's going to look very weird when you have all of a sudden all these lines are moving, because muscles works by compensating. Like, you're not moving here, but again, I'm going to compensate and start moving on the forehead more, or more moving on the crow's feet more. So you're gonna have facial expressions that you never had before. So I educate them.
And you're not going to match.
Exactly.
Because if you have let's say somebody just wants their forehead done, but tells you leave my 11s alone.
That's what they say.
I mean, my crow's feet alone. I'm gonna have a smooth forehead, but I'm gonna look old as shit.
Who would want their crow's feet?
Well, like,
I mean, I don't think any woman. There's women like their crow's feet.
They say, I'm here only for the 11th. So when I educate them, I tell them, I am not upselling you right now, and I need you to understand that, but I'm giving you a favor. I'm doing you a favor by educating you that muscles work by compensating. So when you have a lazy eye, they cover the good eye.
Do we all have a lazy eye?
Not lazy eye, weaker side. But
yeah, we all have a weaker side.
Kids born with a lazy eye, like normal medical condition, they cover the good eye. You know why they cover the good eye? Because they want the lazy eye to work harder, to be
to strengthen
it. So when you paralyze one side, like only the crow's feet, or you paralyze only the 11, the other muscles is going to start working harder. So every time you want to frown, you're going to find yourself, you're raising your eyebrows. So the lines that you were supposed to have in 3 years, they're going to happen within 1 year, because you're compensating for the not movement here between your eyebrows, and all of a sudden you're moving extra on the forehead.
Hey, the same thing happens when you do lipo. Like when
the fat goes where the
fat goes. I remember one time I met this girl. She's like, "Oh my God, I got lipo, but it's so weird because now I'm getting fat on my arms,
or the
back." And she was like, and I was like, "Well, stop eating. Stop eating the way you're eating."
Raquel.
No,
this just stop. I like your approach.
This girl would eat like shit. That's the reason I told her that.
But
honestly,
also you educate them. So
if
I tell them, no, I'm not gonna do just the 11 and do 16 units or 20 units. I'm gonna give you 40 units. They get in a shock. Is like, okay, she's upselling. No. I'm here only for the 11. Then I'll get up and give them just the 20 units they asked for. But when I educate them, guess what?
Yeah,
They
the game changes.
They say, it's okay, Sahar, whatever you think I need, just do it. And they close their eyes and they sit on the chair and they're like, my face is yours. Just do whatever you think is right for me to be done. We're not talking money at that point. We're talking about goals and results, because they already know they're not here to be sold. I'm not selling you. I'm helping you.
Yes.
I mean, if you're already there, it's because you're already looking for
and you
some type of
to
intervention.
That place because you did your research and you trust your injector already. And then imagine when you exceed the expectations of the client. This is it. You made it. I'm not going to say you made your business, but you made your goals, because what made me want to be in this field to begin with, right?
Yeah, let's go back to that. Let's go back to that, because we want to get to know Sahar a little bit more intimately. Like, did you always know that this is what you were going to do, that you were going to land in the beauty industry, which, by the way, the beauty industry, you guys, is expected to grow by an average of 5.2% each year from 2020 to 2023. Like, it is growing more and more. Listen,
I just think I'm so lucky I'm at the right field, and I have so much passion for it, and I love it a lot.
I could tell.
That's why I think I shine in my field, and I can't accomplish everything that I accomplished because I don't have anything different as far as education or training than anybody else who cannot do it. They can do it, but the passion and how sincere and how you're not money hungry and you're not selling and you're not treating it as a business. People can sense that. They can feel it.
Genuinely treat everybody as if they're your best friend.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have bond with every single client.
Because I feel like you really, it is not about making the money. Yes, you charge the prices that you charge because it is it's a luxury service, and you should, right?
Yes.
But you're not just paying for the service. When you go to somebody like you're paying for the expertise, the years of training. You're paying for the knowledge and your sincere desire for them to look their absolute best. And that's the feedback I get from everybody that I've recommended to you. It's like, oh my gosh, yes, she broke down my face. Like, she said some things I didn't really expect, because we see ourselves from different goggles. You're seeing us from a very, black and white, professional
and also
scope
the cause
at the
of
beginning.
The problem. Everybody comes to me for the problem to fix the problem. I'm looking at your cause of the problem. What is the cause? Let's fix the cause, because if
my husband, he stresses me out. That's the cause of the problem.
No, but so I think that sets people apart. Just like in my industry.
I don't want to be like every other injector.
Yes,
you're not, Sahar. You're not.
I want it to be the difference. I want it to be the one who does that kind of consultations that's so deep and educate, and it takes a lot of my time. That time I can inject you and give you what you want and see the next client.
Yeah,
but I decided I wanted to do it different and give them the experience. And guess what? My retention rate, I want to say 100% without even thinking twice about it. My clients, they stick with me for years and years, and they follow me wherever I go. So,
and that's very important, because you build that relationship. Like, my facialist has been my facialist for many years. My lash girl, I'm consistently with her, right? When I was getting my nails done, it was the same person, because I like to sit down, and I like to sit down and you tell me what I need. Like, you're the professional. Even though I am in the beauty industry and I can think that I know everything about everything, the fact of the matter is that I don't. Boom, there, I said it, Raquel.
I thought the day would never come. No, but it is a good feeling. Like, for example, I know that when I go see you to get my hair done, my hair is going to be on point.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not. If you have a service provider that you constantly think is going to be fucking up your shit, maybe you should fire them like today.
Or if you're jumping around, and I talked about this when I went in there on Monday. If you're jumping around, right? Oh, I got a Groupon deal, or this girl is cheaper, she's having a sale. I get it. Sometimes you have to finagle your finances, but it's better to prolong your appointment and say like, hey, listen, girl, this month something came up, can I reschedule? Than to jump around service providers, because you never then build that relationship and that safety with them, especially in something so fragile as our face.
Yeah, no, trying to save money just because somebody's cheaper, but yet, and I'm sure, Sahar, that you've seen, and this is not talking about any client or putting anybody down, but I think anybody that's in your industry has seen some messed up work.
Totally. And it costs you a lot more to fix it than getting it right from the beginning.
Yeah.
So when they come to me and I have to dissolve it, and then they have to go through the swelling and the bruising and the downtime, and then they pay for that.
Yeah.
And then they come back and fix it, you're paying more.
Yeah.
I mean, and then you're stuck about 3 to 6 months with a face that you don't like.
Yeah.
I mean, that's hard. That's
Yeah,
hard. If it's
absolutely.
your body, you can hide it, but it's your face. Don't cheap out
cannot.
with your face. You cannot
agree.
just get whatever and whoever. You just gotta get quality stuff. And I'll tell you this stuff is expensive.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
expensive for us to get it. So how could it be cheap? How can someone sell it for cheap?
Right. That's the
Question
first
it.
red flag, right?
Yeah, if I purchase it to sell it for you in a very expensive price, how can I sell it for you for a very cheap price?
Yeah.
And then how can
That's a red flag right there,
another
right?
person sell it for cheap? So I have tons of stories in the past 10 years that I have with people who got injected somewhere else in a place that is not well known or not well known. It's just like not recommended.
Yeah.
They're not certified. They're not licensed. And I dealt
That's
with people
scary.
going to the hospital because of the septic infection in their body
No.
from a little lip fillers.
Stop it. That
Wow.
gives me the
Yeah.
creeps.
Yeah, that happened like last month that somebody got injected with a product. She showed me the picture. It's from Korea. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'll try to dissolve it. I tried and I tried and I tried. It's like lumps and bumps and stones in her lips. She
Was
ended
it
up
like
at the
silicone,
ER.
you think?
No, but I don't know what they mixed the product with.
No, it's
I
not
don't
worth it.
know.
It's just not worth it.
It's like, I don't know.
So let's learn a little bit more about who Sahar is as a woman.
All right.
Let's talk about where is you were not born in America, right?
So yeah, my background, I am Palestinian. I came to America when I was 18. I got married right away as soon as I got to America, and I had my baby. So at that time I was 19. I was thinking, I'm like, okay,
Now what?
what's next? So this story is very interesting. This is the first time both of you hear this story. So I'm going to grab your attention because I tell this story to my clients and I distract them from the pain with that one.
Yeah.
I gained some weight after I had my first baby and I was bored and I had the nicest husband ever. I said, okay, I want to go to the gym and I want to get a personal trainer. He's like, okay. So I went to the gym and I had everything. I have a healthy baby. She's so pretty. I have a very nice husband. I have all my family here. I don't speak English, but you know what? Money is good. I have brand new car. I should not complain about anything. But I was not happy.
This was your self-talk.
Yeah, but I'm telling you, I was not happy. But when I go to the gym, I saw a group of girls sitting down and having lunch, and they're all wearing scrubs. Every day I pass by them, they're having a blast. They're having lunch and they're laughing hard. But I don't know how to approach them and talk to them. They were
Because you don't
next
speak
to-
English?
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's right next to the gym. So I went with my broken English and I said, "What is this?" And they
probably
me
looked
and
at you
was
like, "What?"
What? And it was in the middle of San Bernardino, and my English is so bad. And they're like, what do you mean? I'm like,
They're
why
like,
are you
"A
wearing
salad?"
This clothes? like this clothes.
They had
why?"
scrubs on.
Like, why you're wearing these clothes? And they're like, this is school. I'm like, school for what? They're like, go inside and ask. I'm like, okay. I go inside and I'm like, I want to go to school here. I talked to someone there. It's like, okay, do you have $10,000? I said, yeah. He's like, okay, come tomorrow, bring your 10,000 and you'll go to school here. I'm like, he asked me,
Did
what do
you
you
even
wanna-"
know what you were going to school
No,
for?
he asked me, what do you want to go to school for? He said, we have this and this and this. Of course, I did not understand anything. I said, I want to sit with those girls, have lunch with them, and laugh and wear that red stuff that they're wearing. He's like, okay, just come back tomorrow and bring me $10,000. I'm like, okay. I go home and I tell my husband, I want $10,000. I'm going to go to school. And the concept was when I got married that my husband wants someone who came fresh from back home. She knows the religion, the language, and she's going to teach his kids how to speak Arabic and be home and cook and clean.
Okay, I
and
was
be
going to ask you
a
that.
good wife.
Was the expectation of you at that point to be a homemaker?
Yeah, because
So you went
that's
home
why
and you
he
said,
wanted not Americanized Arab woman. He wants a pure 100% fresh Arab woman.
and here you are.
And you were.
Here you are, wanting to be independent.
But
and
you
go
wanted to go to school. So
But I
did that
wanted to go
create
to
a problem
school.
or did he support
said,
you?
You'll go to school, but you promise you never work. I said, I promise I will never work. Why should I work? I have kids, right? I have a baby and he's doing well financially. So why I would work? He's like, okay, go to school. He never said no to me. So I go to school.
I love men that don't say no.
1st. Guess what happened? September 11. After
Oh,
11
this is the
days of
same year?
school,
Oh.
And I was bullied like no tomorrow at school.
Oh,
but I didn't
my
want to tell my husband what's going on at school because he's going to make me quit. So
Sahar, this is making me mad. I want to fight whoever bullied
So
you.
you were getting bullied at school just
I
because
went
of
to
your
school.
nationality?
Nobody knows what I went to school for, right? I find out after I registered, I'm going to school for a medical assistant. So I'm going to wear the scrubs. I'm going to have lunch with those girls. And I'm going to be a medical assistant. But September 11 happened, and the teacher would be standing up in the middle of the class and saying, those Arabs and those Muslims, and she's talking trash. And I was like sitting down. I was like,
my God.
I'm not. And then the girls find out that I'm Arab and I'm Muslim. I can understand the language, but I cannot speak it back. I cannot respond. And if I'm going to respond, I better know what I'm saying because otherwise I'm going to be kicked, right?
Yeah.
So I would keep silent and I'm listening and I'm burning. I'm like, we're not that way. I'm not that person. And then they find out and they started bullying me. I took it all in because I didn't want to quit school. And nobody had lunch with me. Nobody wanted to laugh with me.
Oh,
So everything you envisioned was the complete opposite.
Sahar, we can laugh now at this table.
Totally, right? So I went to school to have lunch with them. They don't want to be my friend.
Oh.
But anyway, it was like a 6 months program to be a medical assistant 4 hours a day. I got pregnant during the program and I worked at an OBGYN office. That OBGYN, he's Arab, he's a family friend, and I get through this platform, hopefully I don't cry, to say this part. He was married to an American, beautiful, gorgeous lady, blue eyes, blonde hair, beautiful, perfect body.
The OBGYN?
Yeah, the doctor. He was married to a nurse practitioner. She's American. And she had a 10 years old daughter. She would drop her off to school. She'll see her clients, her patients, and then she picks up her daughter. And then she'll bring her to the clinic. They have lunch together. They do homework together. And she spends the whole day with her. And she's the boss. I would look at her and be like, oh, my God, how beautiful she is. How perfect she is. How perfect is her life. I could not even dare to close my eyes and dream to be one day like her, right?
But you did.
But
I was
look,
just a
look
medical
at
assistant
everything.
who does not speak English, so I was cleaning spiculums after pap smear because I can't talk to patients, right? She pulled me to her office and she said, Sahar, you're fired. I'm
What
like,
the heck?
I reached my dreams. I'm making $9 an hour. I have a job. I have a degree. And you're like cutting all my dreams just like that. She's like, you're so smart. You can do a lot more for yourself. Your maximum as a medical assistant is going to be $12 an hour. That's the biggest. So I'm going to fire you because I know you have a lot more potential.
She believed in you.
I got so much chills.
Hold on.
It's okay to cry.
So I got damaged. I'm like, she hates me. She has something against me. Something is wrong with her. I was perfect. I worked there for 6 months and I was perfect. Anyways, I stood up in front of the mirror and I'm like, maybe I'm good. Maybe I can do it. Maybe I'm smart. I went and I looked for the closest college. I went there. I did my assessment test and the journey was harder than anything that I can explain to you. I started from English as a second language, math, 2 years of college that does not count toward your degree, but had a second baby, went against the wind. My husband was, of course, irritated that the one little school thing now is like long
It's
schooling.
snowballing.
Yes. And
You liked it.
Dreams and my ambition and the hunger to making a difference and help others. I started to discover more things inside me, about me. And then life changed and I graduated and everything is perfect, right? Until I opened Sahar Allure Med Spa in Corona, the biggest spa, and I made a room for my daughter, who is 10 years old right now. I lost relationship with that family due to a lot of other family problems, and I blocked that nurse on my social media.
The one that fired you, right?
Yes. I blocked her because
She did you a favor, though.
Yeah, but I blocked her like recently, 5 years ago, because of family problems not related to that. And I sat with my daughter, the 10 years old, at 8 o'clock at night. And I told her, Zaina,
It's okay.
I want to share this with you. And Zaina knows that nurse. Her name is Connie. I told her, you remember Connie? Connie fired. I told her the story that I just told you. And I said, one day I'm going to say thank you to her. I owe her this. I owe her my success.
You're going to make me cry, Sahar.
You're going to be upset when you hear the rest of this. This is going to teach people something.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I said I was waiting for the right day to call her and say, I owe you my success. I owe you this. I am a nurse because of you. You're the only one who believed in me and thought I can do it. And now I made it. And I used to see her having her daughters, having lunch with her, doing homework with her. And I envied her. I'm like, who could have a business and have their kids with them and not missing on their kids? Who could do that? You have to be like something big deal to have this. And look at Zena. Now I have the same place like her. I'm a boss and I wear my white coat and you have a place and you get to spend this time with me 8 o'clock at night on Friday. And Zena said, Mom, why don't you call her now and say thank you? I said, I'm not ready. She said, call her now. I said, I am not ready. One day I'm going to invite her here and I'm going to tell her, come and see what I accomplished. She's like, call her now. Call her now. She was playful. I'm like, you know what, Zena? Why not? I unblocked her on Facebook, sent her a message. I'm like, Connie, do you remember me? And she's like, of course I do. I said, can I call you? She's like, yes. I rarely use FaceTime on my phone. I called her FaceTime and I showed her the place and we both cried.
Oh my
gosh.
We were just devastated. And I told her I wanted to wait to say thank you, but Zena insisted to say it today. So I owe you this, Connie. She's like, Sahar, I'm so proud of you. I never doubted you. I knew you're gonna be doing big things, and this is not it. You're gonna do a lot more. And we cried and I hung up. I woke up in the morning, the Facebook message is full of like, prayer for Connie. I hope Connie is good. I'm like,
stop it.
What happened?
What?
So I called and then they found out that Connie just passed out on the bathroom floor. She had the biggest tumor in her brain and she's in the ER having emergency
I can't. My
surgery.
whole body
And
is chills.
she's back. She might not recognize you or know you and I was waiting to say thank you for the right moment, the right day that I think it suits me. Sorry, but to find out that right moment maybe
too late.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
like
gosh.
the morning of this, like Saturday, 6 o'clock, she was at the hospital having emergency surgery, brain tumor, and you know how that affects your senses and your brain and.
Your daughter,
wow.
God was using your daughter.
Shout out
to
to little Zena, your
Yeah.
daughter.
Yeah.
For encouraging you, man.
God, that was
and
epic
like don't
right
you
now.
ever wait to say thank you or I love you or I owe you or
I appreciate you, whatever.
And how many
Express it.
times does the ego get in the way and say
a lot
because of the whole family problem, right? That occurred, nothing on the personal level
Yes.
or on the
nothing
professional
again,
level.
yes,
But
yes.
this family problem, how many times does our ego get in the way and be like, I'm not going to call that bitch. I don't owe her anything.
then-
I worked for this. I went to school. I built this on my own back with my own money, right? Sometimes we take that stance. You've had that happen to you quite a bit where I'm talking right now to Roxy, where you've extended a hand and you've helped somebody and then all of a sudden they forget.
Ooh.
And then they just go on and they act
like
if-
all their success is theirs.
Yeah. It's rare when you find a woman, and I strive to be that woman too, like that loves to pay it forward. I
Yeah.
always say, like,
I
reach
do.
back and pick up that sister. If you've been there and done that, don't knock her down.
Yeah.
I just posted something the other day on Instagram. I posted an affirmation, right? And I put up a poll, right? I received this, or
I saw that.
I could never, right?
could
that was
never.
the option. And 5% of people that responded put I could never. So I didn't expose them. I just screenshot it, circled I could never, and I put like, this makes me really sad for
There's
these people.
even people, yeah.
And then somebody responded and
It's
said,
toxic.
slap those bitches. Like 5% said I could never, like, slap those bitches. And I said, no, we don't slap those bitches. We keep
We
on
just-
going until
we just
they
continue to
believe that
encourage.
they can do it too.
Yes.
Like, it's not about, oh, you're not on my level emotionally, mentally, financially. It's not about that.
Yeah.
It's about one of these days, if I keep on doing what I'm doing, if I keep on walking the walk, talking the talk, showing up to do what I'm supposed to do on my platform and living my purpose, one of these days you will believe that you can too.
Yes.
That's what it's about.
And
Yes.
everybody moves
And
at
that's
their
what's
own.
Connie for you.
Everybody moves at their
Yes,
own
she's my
pace.
inspiration.
But I love how, if you're gonna take anything out of this, I mean, I know we're talking about like, you
So
know, we're gonna
many is like
debunk the myths of like a lot of like Botox and fillers. We're gonna eventually get to that. But I love how you just shared that, because so many times we really do think like tomorrow I'm gonna do this, and tomorrow
Yeah.
and next year, and it's just like,
Don't wait.
Don't
Life
wait.
is too short.
Also, another reason why I wanted to touch on your background was because people often only, depending on when you meet them in your life, they often only see the successful version of somebody.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they see the glitz and the glamour and the lifestyle and the riches, right? And the luxuries that you get to now indulge because you've worked your ass off. That came, look at what you just shared from
hard.
us. You were an immigrant from Palestine at 18, a young mother, a young wife, didn't know the language, but something inside of you was burning and you knew that you wanted it. You didn't even know what it was.
Yeah,
you just knew that you wanted it.
I call that your soul guiding you.
Yeah, God,
right?
God is
Absolutely.
being with me in every single step of the way. Every single step of the way. I cannot say it's just me. Again, culturally, socially, it's not very common to do this, at least in the back of the days. Like when I started, it's been 21 years ago. So now it's more
It's more normal and accepted, but back in the days, you're really going against the grain.
Against the wind, and you have kids and you have a husband. I got married because I'm going to be a mom, a housemaker, and cook and clean, and nothing wrong with that. This is a big role. But what about me?
Yeah.
What about my ambitions? What about my dreams? And still, when I started, I didn't know what should I dream about. I went to school, and all what I thought about is like, I want to wear the scrubs and be happy.
So cute.
I have everything, but I'm not happy. I'm not content. I'm not satisfied. I don't have goals. I can't accomplish anything every day.
Do you know how many women,
Wow, that is
and maybe
such a beautiful
even men
story.
listening right now,
Yeah.
are relating to every word that you're saying
they're
because
trapped in their dreams. They don't know what to start from.
they feel what you're saying because that's them right now.
Yes.
They
And that's
probably,
why
a lot
we
of
like
people
to
probably
have-
feel like it's too late. Because they're like, oh my God, I'm 30, I'm 40, what, now what?
It's never too late.
It's never
I
too
went
late.
to cosmetology school at 30 years old because that's when life flipped on its head for me. At 30 years old, and I'm 15 years into the industry almost, and my books are closed. It is never too late.
It took me 7 years to have the RN degree.
You
People
see?
does
But you
My
did
daughter,
it.
she's
And how
gonna
many
go to
kids?
2 years and a half, and I have 3 kids.